How's it? Welcome back. So I had a message come in from someone who's still pretty new to the lucid dreaming practice, and they reached out to me wanting to see if I had a book that I could recommend for them. And of course I do. And I was really trying to dwindle it down to one book. 'Cause they said, is there a book, not a few books, or not a list of books that I could recommend? So I was trying to dwindle it down to one, but I couldn't. I ended up picking three, which is primarily what I want to go over for this video. But as I was kind of going over in my head, like which book could I recommend, taking a look at my bookshelf back there, then it kind of dawned on me, like, how many of these books have I actually covered on the channel and done like deep dives on? So I went ahead and like went through my playlists on YouTube and was checking them out. And damn, man, I've been through like a lot of them, like way more than I was thinking, like 14 in total. You can kind of run down the list, which it's pretty much in chronological order as I covered them on the channel. So first one was Are You Dreaming? Then I did Gateway to the Inner Self, Liminal Dreaming, Dreams of Light, Dreams by Trikar, Explorations in Consciousness, Why We Dream, Dream Guidance, The New Frontiers of Lucid Dreaming, Active Imagination and Visualization Power, The Phase, Divine Dreamers, and then The Wild Way to Lucid Dreaming, which is pretty nuts looking over this now. But anyway, the three books that I chose, two of them come from the list that the list of books that I've actually done deep dives on the channel. One does not, and I'll get a bit into why that is when I go over it. So the first one I recommended, and I'm sure there is kind of some recency bias in here, because honestly, some of these books that I did like whatever 3, 4, 5 years ago, yeah, I kind of forget what they cover, to be honest. I would have to like go back to my playlist and like listen to it or look over my notes to kind of remember what it is they covered. So I'm sure there's some recency bias here. But anyway, the first one is The Phase by Michael Raduga. I like this book because it just has so many, by far the most techniques that I've ever seen when it comes to the practice. So this is a really excellent one. Again, pretty recently I did a whole deep dive on it. The other one would be this one right here, The New Frontiers of Lucid Dreaming by James S. Bray. This was a really cool one, and I liked it. It's also full of a lot of techniques and things, but I also liked it because he has a very, what I would call like a realistic approach or view towards lucid dreaming, or at least he has a view towards lucid dreaming that generally lines up with how I view the practice as well. So, I like this one. I think it gives you a good perspective of the practice. And then the last one is this one right here, Dream Yoga by Andrew Holecek. And so this book, I have not done a deep dive on the channel, although this is one of my favorite books. It's definitely up there. It's got to be top 3 for me, and there's a few reasons for that. First of all, of course, it's full of a lot of good, useful information in there, but it's also the first book I read about lucid dreaming that really sparked my interest and got me fired up to really start taking my practice seriously, which eventually led to me obviously making my channel and stuff like that. But I like this book, and I like this recommendation on it because it's different from the other two, where he has more of a Tibetan Buddhist approach towards the practice. And so I really liked it there. And, I've always wanted to go ahead and do a deep dive on this book. And, I have to do it one of these days. But when I read this book initially, I wasn't, I had no idea of ever trying to make videos on it. So I wasn't highlighting anything, right? I just kind of read it and tried to soak in the information to myself. So for me to go ahead and do a whole video breakdown of it on the channel, I got to reread the damn thing. And just the way Andrew writes, I like his writing a lot, but it kind of stresses out my dyslexic brain quite a bit. We're actually one of the, this might be the only book, if not definitely one of the few books on this list of books that I've covered, which is Dreams of Light, which is his follow-up book to this one, where I was covering it on the channel, but like he kind of talks so high, and it's kind of so high above me that I don't feel like I have anything that I can really add to it. I'm kind of just like straight reading his sentences and my highlights from his book. So I still plan on getting around to finishing up Dreams of Light one of these days. But kind of more than that, because that book is kind of like a step above this one. Just to, it's a bit more advanced. It's getting more towards, geez, it's been years since I read it, but I believe it's getting more towards like the sleep yoga stuff versus dream yoga, right? Where dream yoga is like lucid dreaming, being lucid in REM, and then, at least going off memory, I believe sleep yoga is like being lucid in like deep sleep, stage 3, 4 stuff. Anyway, that stuff aside, I'll get to that one day maybe. I do definitely want to get to this one though one of these days. This was a cool book. And so, yeah, with that said, that kind of wraps it up. And yeah, until the next video, keep your lucid dreaming practice legit